I got some sweet swag at the cigar event I went to.
Yeah.
Friggin' so not only did I get so it was like $50, right? And you get
For the car event you went to?
No, I went to a cigar event on
cigar event. Okay.
Was that Tuesday? That might have been Tuesday, I think. That I went to this car event or this cigar event. And it was like $50 and you got a full catered dinner, 2 drinks, 2 premium drinks, 4 cigars. And then like Drew Estates was there. It was like they're part of their thing. So like they gave I got a jet lighter from them. I got this pretty sweet hat.
There you go.
From them. I got a mouse pad, a Drew Estates Undercrown mouse pad. I got a can koozie, and I got a bottle opener, like this big heavy duty steel bottle opener too from them for swag from it.
That's gonna get lost in a week.
Well, so far I have 2. I actually have 2 of them because like a bunch of people got up from their tables and just like left.
They already lost their bottle openers. Yes.
Yeah, they just like left everything sitting there. So like I actually got 2 hats and like 2 can koozies and 2 bottle openers.
It's lighters, pens, and bottle openers. And I am thoroughly convinced that those are the 3 most easily lost things.
Pretty much.
Lighters, pens, and bottle openers.
Look at how sweet that lighter is for free.
Yes.
It's freaking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Plus I've got a bunch of cigars and stuff. Like
got some good ones
too. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I got a cigar cutter too, which is kind of a weird cutter. It's like a set depth one. So it's kind of neat. But I got that, and then I got it was a Sweet Jane, which is my favorite. What is this? An Undercrown something shade, an Undercrown shade, a Cuba, something else that I can't remember, and then a guy that actually came with me, like as part of the group, he gave us all Fat Bottom Betties, which is what this is. So yeah, for $50, ain't too bad.
Yeah, I mean, for $50, you get some phallic shaped item shoved into your face. I mean, that's cool. That works.
Who doesn't want to pay $50 for phallic shaped items shoved into their face? I mean, generally, I pay $50 to shove a phallic shaped item into other people's faces, but you know, it's
we have an article related to that later. It's the hidden article, and I won't tell you because it is just. I can't even tell you the headline of that article. Like, I have to read just the first sentence of that article, and then I have to pause for reflection. It's one of those kind of articles.
It's one of those. Okay.
It's one of those.
No.
Yes, it's one of those.
Oh, it's going to be one of those nights.
Well, yes. Yes. Well, it's good. It's a good one because we haven't, our schedules are a little iff, and we need one of those nights. I need one of those nights, at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's summer. We get so busy in the summer. We all have stuff going on.
It is. Last night was the first night since mid-March where the overnight low was below 60.
Owie. I don't think we've had one actually here since then either.
And I slept like a baby. Daytime high of 76. We had the windows and the door open all day long.
Oh, that would be nice.
Overnight low of 58.
Oh, that sounds
my
so
goodness. Oh.
That fucking car show I went to yesterday, we had a high of like 104 ambient.
Ouch.
So you can imagine what it was sitting in the sun. It was less than pleasant. Like everybody was looking for shade. And
you guys get humidity there too, huh?
Yeah, it was about 80% humidity.
Yeah, that's about 75 to fuck you. That's like 70% past fuck off.
It's right now. It got up to like 98 today.
Speaking of humidity, you know who's really enjoying humidity right now? Burning Man.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. Have you seen the Jeep that
The
tried
Jeep
to
that was
leave?
stuck?
Where it's
Yes.
buried beyond its axles.
Yes.
It is to
Bro.
the doors.
Chris Rock walked 5 miles to the highway and hitched a ride to town and had someone come pick him up.
Welcome to when it rains in the desert, kids.
It's so bad, and it's flooded everywhere around there, and it's so bad. You know, like people are walking around barefoot because it's Burning Man, and the people are just perpetually in this mud. And now the big worry is trench foot.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that because it's
Yeah.
constantly wet. And
Yes.
everything.
Now
Yeah.
they're talking about trench foot. So we got the the porta potties that can't be cleaned. 73,000 people attended it. The porta potties can't be cleaned because the trucks can't get in there. Food and water can't be resupplied. Now we have trench foot, and we have other worries because the porta potties can't be cleaned, because there's no sanitation anymore.
This is punishment for letting Burning Man turn into a playground for the
Yes.
.com millionaires instead of sticking to what it originally was.
Yes. Yes.
That's what this is.
It's just it's just it's karmic justice. It really is just so much karmic justice.
Because I mean, remember, like Burning Man originally, right? Like Burning Man was supposed to be this like counterculture thing where they rejected the .com billionaires and all the 90s Wall Street guy bullshit and everything, and they were just going out there to be savages and let loose, and and it was all tense and super primitive. And
yeah, I remember it was super primitive, and it was people came in costumes, and it was like really
yeah,
it was on the fringe. It was very much on the fringe. Now it's not fringe anymore. It's normalized.
Yeah, and now you have guys who you have these Silicon Valley billionaires who are flying out like entire like villages to set up.
Yep.
With solar power and satellite internet and all this other crap.
Yep. Glampers.
And that's not what it was ever supposed to be. That was never supposed to be what Burning Man was. It was supposed to be a bunch of,
as Jack said, it was commercialized.
Yeah, it was hyper commercial. It was supposed to be a bunch of like counterculture hippies and anarchists going out into the middle of the desert, like in a bunch of half run down VW minibuses and crap, and just letting loose. And like that's what it was meant to be.
It's like when the slabs in the Mojave Desert, when that became a tourist destination, right? Just ruined it. Absolutely ruined the entire thing. So, yes, it was commercialized.
It was hyper commercialized.
Yep. Buckshot wants to know background where the cigar event was held and how does he sign up for the next one?
So it was Quick Trip's Cigar Dinner. They hold it once a year. It's a fundraiser for I forget what. But basically it's not ever advertised really. It's like a very small email list that they send stuff out to. If you can catch it when it's available, it's like limited to I think 60 people or 65 people for tickets for it. Bill Michaels is there. He does like interviews and stuff on the back, like back room stuff of Wisconsin sports. No cameras are allowed, no camera phones, anything like that. So yeah, keep your cell phones put away. Sometimes some of the guys from the Brewers show up, guys from the Packers show up, the Bucks. It's cool. I mean, it's definitely a cool event if you can get in, but because they basically don't advertise it ever, you kind of got to know somebody that can manage to do it. Did I see yeah, I did see the LST. It's super cool. That was an amazing thing to look at. An actual survivor of D-Day, and that's cool. That's a cool thing.
So Okay, you want to start talking about important stuff
Oh.
and stuff?
Yeah, we can start talking about stuff and stuff.
Okay, where do we want to start? Okay. I know a good place to start. Do you remember 2015, the Gold King mine in Silverton, Colorado? The
Yeah,
EPA was working on a levee to shore it up, and the EPA contractor penetrated the levee, and the levee collapsed and washed all this toxic mining silt down into the river and down into town.
hyper contaminated with heavy metals, as I recall.
Yes.
Basically poisoned the entire river for like ever.
Yes. EPA denies aid to 2/3 of victims of a massive mine spill it caused.
What a surprise that the EPA would just go, nah, fuck you.
Yeah, the Environmental Protection Agency denied 2/3 of the damage claims associated with the 2015 Gold King mine spill in Silverton, Colorado. The EPA was working on improving the water quality of the Animas River next to the Gold King mine in 2015 when agency employees accidentally pierced part of the mine's wall, releasing 3 million gallons of contaminated water into the river, according to an investigation by the United States Bureau of Reclamation. The agency recently rejected 2/3 of the nearly 100 claims filed, giving a maximum of $2,500 to the approved claims.
$2,500
$2,500
for poisoning the river,
the Animas River,
and the groundwater.
the Animas River. Yes. Yes. Quote, while the EPA regrets the loss, the claim does not meet the standards for coverage under the Federal Tort Claims Act, the EPA wrote in a letter to one of the individuals who submitted a claim. Quote, accordingly, this claim is denied. Yes.
My Miss American Pie, drain the levee in the river and everything dies.
Yeah. Okay, so this was in 2015 when it went down. The EPA in 2017 refused to give any federal assistance to the area affected by the gold mine spill. Former EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt promised to reverse the agency's decision when he assumed the office in 2017 and said the agency would provide help to the victims affected by the spill.
Can you imagine if the mine had done that themselves, what the EPA would have done to the mine? I mean, they would have bankrupted them. That would have been it. That would have been the end of the mine.
They would have bankrupted them for generations.
Yeah.
Yes.
For doing that, demanded that they pay millions and millions of dollars in assistance to everybody affected, all these other things. But because the government did it itself, nope, sorry about you. Sucks to suck.
Yeah. So Pruitt sent a letter in June 2017 to individuals who had submitted the claims after the disaster. Quote, when I was appointed administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, I committed to review a decision by the previous administration regarding the Gold King mine incident that left so many impacted people without support or help from the federal government. The time has come for the EPA to deliver on that promise. Right. That was June 2017. He resigned in 2018.
Having done absolutely nothing.
Quote, they told us to take our time and use our resources to prepare these claims so that they could provide restitution for the damage they caused. That's Alex Michael, a business owner whose claim was denied by the EPA. Tom Knopnick, another business owner who did not receive EPA help, quote, suffered significant losses and required extensive loans to survive the year. Businesses and individuals filed for $1.3 million in damages 2 months after the incident. Individuals who were rejected will have 6 months to appeal the EPA's decision in federal court, according to CPS. So 2015 is when the spill happened. 2017 is when 2015 is when it happened, and they were denied help. 2017 is when that guy said, well, I'm going to reverse that decision and we're going to get you help. And then he resigned in 2018. It's now 2023, and 2/3 of the claims were denied. And those that were approved received a whopping $2,500.
At most,
Yes.
$2,500.
Yes.
So a lot of them probably received a lot less than that.
Yes.
It boggles the mind that, because again, I mean, think about this. Like, had that been the mine that had done that themselves, right? And the mine was being very, very careful.
Okay,
because
here's the thing. Okay. Earlier this year in May, the state of Colorado got $5 million federal settlement for the Gold King mine spill.
But they won't give it to the people actually affected.
No. No. New Mexico also got some settlement money. So the Aramis River went all the way down to New Mexico. New Mexico used the settlement money to monitor the watershed after federal dollars dried up. But that's it. That's all the help that has been given to these people.
So they gave the state money so that the state could keep track of just how much environmental damage these dumbasses managed to do.
Yes.
But the actual people who are affected negatively by said damage.
Yes, 8 years. 8 years.
8 years, and then nope, sorry about you.
Yes.
I mean, if the mine had been the ones to do this, right? And the mine was super careful because everyone knows, like, you know, that gold mining produces large amounts of heavy metals, cobalt, arsenic, are like the big ones. It produces a large amount of heavy metals because the process to get the gold out of the rock and things. So,
okay. Business owners who rely on the river's resources were informed that the economic damage, lacking any claim or evidence of physical injury, such as the inability to guide rafting or fishing trips, was not authorized under federal law.
You lost your business, but your business doesn't fit these really conveniently specific parameters. So sorry, you're on your own. Sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, bud. Like, it is so, they poisoned their water source. They killed off their businesses.
Yes.
They destroyed their livelihoods.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going, nah. 8 years later, still nothing.
Yep. Here's $2,500.
Here's $2,500 to a few of you, and the rest of you, move somewhere else.
Yep. You shouldn't live so close to the river.
And how many times have we covered stories on this show, right? Where it's people, you know, where somebody builds a culvert or clears out a culvert and they freak out about, you damaged the wetlands, even though it wasn't actually wetlands, or you affected a navigable waterway because this tiny 1.5 deep creek.
Yeah, a navigable waterway.
Yeah, because you bridged an 1.5 deep creek. Like, this is the stuff that they do to people who are common people. But when they do something that you demonstrably poisoned a river system and an entire watershed and is causing untold damage in both economics and the, you know, conservation, they don't have to do anything because they're the government. And what are you going to do about it? Because how are you going to sue them? You'd have to sue them in government court.
Yep.
Which obviously is going to find in favor of the government that they are, not in your favor. The deck is totally and 100% stacked against you.
Yes. It was an accident.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just wait for your day in court.
Yeah. Never mind that you can't eat the fish out of the river. You can't
Yeah.
drink the water out of the river.
Can't drink the water out of the water table.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be really careful eating any of the animals that drink out of the river.
Yeah.
So there's your hunting. There's your sustainability.
Who knows how many of those animals died from drinking out of that river because of all of that. I mean, again, huge amounts of cobalt and arsenic.
Yeah,
into the water.
3 million gallons of polluted water. That's not an insignificant amount.
And remember, cobalt's radioactive.
Yep. Yay. Thank you, government, for being so fantastic and caring about people.
But without government, who would poison the waterways?
Don't forget, the U.S. military is one of the largest polluters on the planet.
By a huge margin.
Yeah.
I mean, the U.S. military are the ones who, during the 1960s, were working on trying to figure out a way to create an unshielded nuclear reactor-powered jet.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
yay.
Yay, government. But make sure you pay your taxes, because otherwise, how can we live in a civilized society?
On a completely related note, 100% related note, about 4,000 Americans are hospitalized each year with a, quote, foreign object lodged in their rectums, according to a first of its kind study.
For the last time, people, that's not a pocket.
You remember when we covered this one for the NHS in the UK?
Yeah, and it was costing how many millions upon millions of dollars every year?
Yeah, but now we have so 4,000 Americans. Okay, this isn't people that go into the ER, right? This is 4,000 Americans that are hospitalized each year.
They have to be put into the hospital because of the thing that they stuck in their butt.
Yes, completely related to the EPA story.
Yeah. Why? What? I don't understand people's upset. Stop that. It's, first of all, flared base, people. As we said at the time, back when we covered that one for the UK, flared base. Yes. Flared base. And if it's glass, no. Just no.
Yeah, okay. Men account for nearly 8 of 10 cases, and the most common group being males in their 20s and early 30s, made up a third of all the ER visits. Sex toys accounted for more than half of the cases, while other objects ranged from toy balls or marbles to bottles, bottle caps, cans, drugs, and even stationery.
What? Yes. I mean, you could just stick the notepad in your pocket.
Hold on. Research at the University of Rochester, New York, who did the study, said there had been a lack of hospital data on, quote, retained rectal foreign bodies in the U.S.
Oh,
how'd you like to put that on? How did I put that on your resume? Oh, what'd you do at the hospital? Oh, I cataloged retained rectal foreign bodies that came into the hospital.
I just, why?
I'm going to make my foot a retained rectal foreign body.
Have you seen that TikTok channel with the guy where he just shows these videos of these various like machines or whatever, and he just looks at the camera and he goes,
no, and shakes his head. Yes, do not stick your dick there.
No. And like there's the one where it's like the mining machine or whatever that's going in and out, and just, no.
What's the other one? The dildozer, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's literally a giant jackhammer.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. They were compelled to carry out the research after data in the UK, Europe, Japan, and the Caribbean indicated that the injury was becoming more common globally. Why?
Why is that a thing?
Hold Hold on.
What is wrong with people?
Hold on. The work was published in the American Journal of Emergency Medicine and shared to PubMed, National Institute of Health. The team used data from the U.S. National. Hold on. The team used data from the U.S. National Electronic Injury Surveillance System database, which keeps a record of all injuries linked to consumer products or recreational activities recorded in ERs across the country. They extracted all the cases involving injury to the quote to the pubic region or lower trunk that involved a quote foreign body, and then screened out those among under 15s or the injury were not linked to the rectum. I'm having a really hard time reading this now.
What?
Okay.
What?
Then they use
how many people though? How many people are letting their intrusive thoughts win? Like why? Why are you looking at things immediately going, I wonder if that'll fit in my butt? Why? What is
Hold on.
What has happened to you in your life that is the thing that you think?
Give me a couple paragraphs. 10-year study. Then they use the national population estimates to extrapolate for the entire population, given a figure of 38,948, or about 4,000 per year. Bottles, jars, or bottle lids were the most common non-sexual device found stuck in people's rectums, they found, accounting for 10% of cases.
And then you have that company that makes the bottle of flavored vodka or whatever that looks like a phallus.
Yes.
Why? Why are you encouraging it? Why are you encouraging it? Stop that.
They were followed by drugs at 5% and a ball or marble at 3%.
Don't boof marbles.
Other objects spotted were described as, quote, writing implements, or 2.3%, which may include pens, markers, or crayons.
I know you've seen videos, but I'm telling you, don't do that.
Hold on. Give me one paragraph. Okay. Some 20% of cases involved a, quote, miscellaneous objects. Details were not given on what these were, but in previous cases, they have involved light bulbs, dumbbells, and even a World War I artillery shell.
Why? What? I just no, don't do it. It's not worth it. I understand that the artillery shell does in fact have a flared base. Okay, I get that, but no, it's also high explosive. You can see the no. Don't.
If you're reading the article, there's a link that you can 8 inches long and more than 2 inches wide.
That's yes. And once you ruin that muscle, man, it's all over. It's colostomy bag for the rest of your life.
So. We just skipped over the word dumbbells.
Yeah, because I don't even want to touch that one. That's no one wants to touch those dumbbells anymore either. But why did you, what possessed you that you looked at those and you were like, you know what? Or was it maybe a bet? I bet you that one was for a bet.
It was a 2 kg dumbbell.
2 kilogram.
And there's an x-ray.
No, I understand that that it's ridged, but that's for grip. Okay, that's so that it doesn't slide. That is not for your pleasure. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wow, that was
way up there.
Oh my.
Way up there. Okay, there's the forceps that they use to take it out.
It's not worth it, people. It's not worth it. Flared base. Flared.
It's so base. Wrong. I want to know how much this is costing us. because that's just maybe I don't want to know how much this is costing.
What? That's an interesting peer-reviewed study. What does it cost the economy and lost productivity that this many people are shoving things that do not belong in their bum? Like, stop looking at artillery shells and going, wonder if that fit in my arse. No.
And why does 77% of the cases recorded were among men?
You know why. We all know why. We all know why.
Some people just don't know when to pull out of gay chicken.
And I've watched South Park, okay? So, like, I still remember the gerbil competition.
Yes, by the age group, among those 20 to 24 most likely to be admitted to the wards by foreign objects, followed by 25 to 29, and then 30 to 34. Yes, yes, Dave. This is what happens when you don't have Jesus in your life.
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Yes.
And why? Why are you? I understand, right? I understand that God's cruel joke was putting the male G spot where he did. Okay, I get it. However, doesn't mean that's a button you need to push with a dumbbell.
or a fucking World War I artillery shell.
Or an artillery shell. Like French 75 is a drink. It should not be the thing you put in your butt. I'm just saying.
Or as we covered during the one about the NHS in the UK, a Buzz Lightyear doll.
Yeah, definitely not. Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. No, not like that.
Yes, that was a.
He had to face the other toys after that, and he could not. He was never the same.
That is not a snake in your boot.
Is to infinity and beyond. That is not the beyond he meant. That is not.
There's a snake in my butt.
Somebody's poisoned the water hole.
Oh boy.
Oh,
this is just top quality podcasting.
Can you imagine? I mean, okay, I understand that his name was Buzz, but I have some bad news about that particular toy.
You hit the button where the wings come out.
That's why he was stuck. It's the wings opened.
Oh my goodness. I just
Can you imagine walking into that emergency room? Well, he probably didn't walk, let's be honest. He
waddled.
He waddled. But why? And now, right? Like, can you imagine that Toy Story? Like, people laugh about, as you know, the toys, as Andy got older, had to sit there and, even though they were sentient, just pretend that they weren't alive as they watched Andy choke his chicken, right? Like, we know this, but imagine poor Buzz after that incident. You okay, buddy? And he's just
There's this slinky dog just keeps smelling him.
Would you stop that? I'm just wondering what's wrong with you. Shut up. We're not going to talk about it. You know that it broke him psychologically, though.
Oh, like, absolutely. Absolutely.
He started telling people how he'd gone on this adventure into like some mine in an asteroid or something. And everyone's just like new toys are like, what is he talking? Don't just let him have that. Just let him.
Yes. Just let him have that one. We walked into this cave of wonder. Oh,
so many strange creatures. Just no, Buzz. Let's not
throw some in the garbage can.
Probably into the incinerator. I mean, it was.
Yeah,
that was definitely. Yeah. Oh God. But like, what I honestly, like, I wonder, like, what What goes through people's heads as they look at this stuff
Literally.
and they're like, I
Mr.
could use that in my butt.
Mr. Potato Head loses his nose.
Oh God, my nose is still in there. Ah, oh, my nose is still in there. Kill me, kill me.
Oh, that's just wrong.
How many, and like think about like how many other toys do you have that would have been more appropriate than Buzz Lightyear? Like you had to there had to be other things that you could have used that would have made more sense than a toy that has wings that extend when you push a button.
I mean, who doesn't have a pickle Rick at this point? Right?
Look, I turned myself into a pick. What are you doing, Morty? What are you doing? Oh God!
Oh, when did we eat corn, Morty? You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's not a toy like that. That's not the kind of Woody and Buzz toys that you should be using for that. There are things that are built for that purpose.
Give me one paragraph. In 2015, there were an estimated 2,433 visits to hospitals per year with this issue. In 2021, it was in 2021 that had risen to 5,230, more than double the 2015 number.
So we can blame COVID, is what I'm hearing.
So not only can we blame COVID, but this is happening more frequently.
Because the lockdowns, right? All these people were sitting around at home and they were just getting bored and they were just looking at stuff and like, I wonder if I can fit that up my ass. Like what? Sitting around drinking, betting each other on fucking video chat whether or not they could fit something up their ass. If pro tip, if your friend goes, I bet you $20 I can fit that in my rectum, don't take the bet.
Yeah. That one of the first COVID songs to come out, Chris Webby, his rap, he talked about him and his wife using hand sani as lubricant. So I'm just saying that's possibly what happened.
Don't do that either.
Yeah.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah. That's another problem you don't want to go to hospital for.
You don't need a large amount of medical training to know certain things are stupid.
Yes. Researchers at the University of Rochester suggested women may not be less likely to run into trouble with devices in their rectums than men. Instead, their data may be down to a publication bias. Cases involving objects were more likely to be cases involving uncommon objects were more likely to be recorded, they noted, but women were less likely to have a non-sexual object stuck in their rectums. This they suggest would lead to fewer cases being registered.
Right. Exactly. Which means that this is yet another reason why women live longer than men, because they understand what is and is not a sex toy. I'm not gay, but $20 is $12.75. I mean, they make things, okay? They make
purpose driven. There is a whole purpose driven industry, multi-billion-dollar a year industry designed to literally pleasure a person by going into different orifices of their body.
Yeah, this is there is a whole industry. There is a wonderful, magical Willy Wonka-esque world out there for you to explore if you're so inclined. You do not need to use World War I artillery shells.
Yes.
Just you know who's to blame for this? You know who's to blame for this? Fucking Bad Dragon. That's who I blame for this. The moment they started making all that weird shit, people got confused. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about, but I know that some of you that won't admit it, you know too. Don't pretend you don't. I know, and I just want you to know that I know.
Okay, you said Willy Wonka, so I had to look up golden ticket sex toy.
Oh
Just for,
God,
just, just,
there's at least one.
just for shits and giggles, I had to look it up. Bellicella launches a golden ticket campaign where you can win sex toys for life. That's a thing. A golden sex toy that contains your partner's ashes.
So he can disappoint you after he's dead too. Oh.
Thieves steal gold-plated sex toys worth $15,000 each from Spanish factory.
Gold plate. Why? Well, I mean, it is non-reactive. Okay, fine. I guess I can see that actually.
No, all right. I'm unclicking. I can't handle that.
This is a rabbit hole that you do not want to go down. Much like what Buzz said.
Yes. They've poisoned my water hole. I don't want to.
Immediately before that, he was like, "What, Andy? I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm actually alive. Huh? No. What are you doing? No."
Just hear you hear muffled Buzz Lightyear and you hear Marilyn Manson playing in the background. Oh,
he's putting lipstick on, staring at himself in a mirror, and
Bo Peep's lost sheep are just standing there with the 1,000-yard stare. Why? See,
there's articles out there about things that dudes get their dick stuck in, right? Like we know that that's a thing that happens because again, people are dumb. But if you're gonna stick stuff in your pooper, okay? If you're gonna do that, be an adult enough about it to just go to the sex shop and go buy a thing.
Yep.
Okay?
Fuck around, find out. If you get a Buzz Lightyear stuck in your ass, you have to live with that Buzz Lightyear stuck in your ass. Yeah. You know, hashtag be a man.
Like here's the thing is like that's why men keep getting random stuff because they're embarrassed to go. Like you are too embarrassed. Okay, you are too embarrassed to go to a sex shop and purchase an actual thing designed for that.
Amazon.
You shouldn't be because you're a freaking adult. Just be an adult about it and go do it. But like you're embarrassed about that. How much more embarrassed do you think you're gonna be waddling into the emergency room and having a hospital stay because you shoved a barbell all the way up to your lower intestine?
Yes.
Like,
just toys are expensive, and I have empty whiskey bottles all over the place.
I think empty whiskey bottles are probably connected to a lot of these incidents, to be honest with you.
The spout on a handle of Jim Beam. I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Which I now have to continue with this degeneracy.
Fuck.
And I have to bring up this article.
I mean, you don't have to.
No, I have to.
Have to go down this path.
I have to.
Every day we stray further from the path of the Lord.
Yes, I have to. And I can't tell you the headline. It's one of those, I can't, hold on. Just, it's fucked with me for a second. I can't tell you the headline. I just have to read the first sentence. And then we have to pause and reflect on where our life is at this point. Okay? You don't have, go ahead and swallow that. You don't want anything in your mouth. It's Saturday night at a Los Angeles strip club, and a pig-tailed clown with a face full of grease paint is twerking on a bed of Lego bricks.
What?
It's Saturday night at a Los Angeles strip club, and a pig-tailed clown with a face full of grease paint is twerking on a bed of Lego bricks. The
This is the
crowd
most fucked up short story I've ever heard. Already. Just that line.
The crowd is going berserk, some clapping and cheering and throwing dollar bills on stage as the clown stripper continues to play croquet, taking off her top and striking a series of sensual poses with cartoonish glee. But the majority of onlookers just stare in open mouth horror, covering their eyes when it's clear the clown stripper is about to do the splits. As soon as it happens, at least one person lets out a blood curdling scream. Another looks as if they're about to pass out.
Those are the reasonable people.
Quote, people have those kind of reactions all the time, says Serafina, who usually performs their signature bed of Lego act under the stage name Demonic Cupcake. And they also noted incorporating eye-popping sideshow stunts into an already sensual performance will usually make the gig even more lucrative, with some people handing them $20 bills while begging, please don't.
I mean, I get that for stripping. Please don't, and $20. It's pretty frequently whenever I try. So
She said she stifles a laugh, quote, and I just take it from their hand, look them in the eye, and stomp really hard. As a clown stripper, Serafina is part of a community of adult entertainers who combine striptease with sideshow acts that range from sword swallowing to shoving 5-inch nails up their noses, an act known as the human blockhead. Hold on. Give me one paragraph. Covered in clown makeup and flamboyantly dressed, the burlesque dancers with a twist. A surprising ability to be hot while performing terrifying, titillating, and often extremely painful tricks. At the end result tends to be a packed pop-up nights that draw out the novelty seekers and fetishists alike, intrigued by the crazy promise of a sexy clown deep-throating a 4-foot balloon.
that is one of the greatest and most horrifying sentences that has ever been written or read in the history of the English language. There's a very dark, deep, twisted part of me that's like, I gotta go now. I gotta see this.
Yes.
I was raised on like Monty Python and shit. So like this is in some ways my parents are responsible.
I this has nothing to do with like the normal aim of our show. This is just so fucking out there that I had to bring it up. As I looked, okay, so like we're kind of known for doing stories about strippers and exotic dancers, right? So every time before the show, when I'm doing the outline, I will Google strippers, go to news, and sort by the most recent, and I'll go down. And this was like the third article, and it's the only article about it. It's a Daily Beast article, and it's about the subculture of clown strippers.
What have I become, my sweetest friend?
Yes.
Part of me is horrified, and part of me is like, I gotta see. I gotta go see a stripper clown show now. Like, I don't want to, but at least once. I gotta see.
It's okay. Vita Devoid, Vita Devoid. That is her stage name.
They're all goth chicks that are gonna be clown strippers. Like, there is no way you're not. Yeah, there's no way that you're not a hardcore goth chick if you're gonna be a clown stripper. Like, this is a given.
Yeah. It's this article just goes on and on. It's a really long article, and just it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrible. There's one doing a pose on a bed of nails.
I mean, that would be fascinating, but would it be tip worthy? I don't know. I don't know that it would.
Getting the tip of the nail.
I mean, not so the blockhead thing is actually because you're aiming it straight down your sinuses, and it doesn't actually necessarily hit anything, and it seems bad, but it's not. I mean, it's not good, but you're not actually driving it into anything. And I know circus sideshow performers, right? They're generally pretty cool people.
Demonic Cupcake has an Instagram.
Well,
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at it. I don't wanna. I mean, I do, but I don't want to, but I have to.
I'm hurting. This hurts.
Why again? Like, why do I have to keep doing this on the show? Like, why people? Why is this a thing? What is wrong with you? Who hurt you? And why have you not gone to therapy about it?
Society. Yeah.
Why is this?
What is this? They're performing on a bed of Legos?
How much do you hate yourself?
Enough to stick a Buzz Lightyear up the ass, apparently.
This is the kind of show where that would fucking happen. All right. And as far as the question in the chat about what happens if she swallows the balloon and pop, you just pull it out. But generally it doesn't pop because your esophagus is actually pretty soft and it's not really that.
If it pops inside, you poop it out.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you poop chunks out because it's silicone.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It just goes through you. But
yeah. So but yeah, that first sentence that made me share this article. And we don't have to go into the article because it's rather long and
deeply
boring
troubling.
There's a lot of great one-liners in there similar to that first one. We don't need to, Saturday night, Los Angeles strip club with a pigtailed clown with a face full of grease paint twerking on a bed of Legos.
Does that not sound like the beginning to like the most horrifying noir novel you have ever read? Like,
or the greatest, or the absolute greatest,
or possibly the greatest. It was Saturday night. Was it?
Yeah.
Pigtailed clown with a face
hold on.
full of grease paint.
We need
twerking.
We need Hunter S. Thompson's briefcase. And we need this Joe.
Yes. It was Saturday night. There's a pigtailed clown twerking on a bed of Legos, face full of grease paint. The ether kicked in somewhere around 8 p.m.
Stanley Kubiak is fully erect.
Oh, he just if you film that, right? You filmed it in black and white and it just ended with like a homeless child crying in a gutter. People would celebrate that as a very deep art noir film. And now I want to do it. Like I want to film it and then just intersperse it with shots of a rotting time-lapse shots of a rotting fox corpse and
a sad balloon floating away.
Yeah, and a balloon. Yeah, and then and just end it with just a close-up of an eye shedding a tear and then theme.
Oh, there's another one, a clown fetishist known as Sonny Megatron. Yeah.
The really horrible part is I have heard of Sonny Megatron.
Yeah.
I'm a filthy fucking degenerate.
Scott said he got no notifications, so he's here late. You didn't miss anything, Scott. We're just talking about clown strippers.
You got here just in time to hear about clown strippers. Aren't you lucky? Hooray!
Oh, our viewer count just went down.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Giant Meteor 2024.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we're
I want to live on this planet anymore. At the same time, I do want to live on this planet because I get things like clown strippers here. And not really something I'm into, but I'd watch.
Serafina says, quote, I love Legos. Like, we just finished putting all our Lego shelves up this week, and we have an entire wall of our living room that is dedicated to my 40,000 pieces of Lego sets.
She actually sounds pretty cool. I'm not
But
gonna
even
lie.
as a Lego enthusiast, Serafina reiterated that their signature act was purposefully designed to be a cutesy twist on the classic bed of glass trick, an attempt to bring a little levity to the strip club through playful clownery and sideshow showmanship. Quote, because they're Legos, and Legos aren't serious. Except it is serious because it's Legos, and you know that's going to hurt. But at the same time, it's just Legos.
Like, my knees hurt at the idea of her twerking on a bed of Lego. Like, your knees, ow!
Yeah, yes.
Ow!
Okay, twerk on a bed of Legos or have a Buzz Lightyear shoved up your
I mean, I'm still taking the Legos, but my God.
It's just, it's like this.
I mean,
this is how. This is why aliens don't visit us.
according to the government, they do, which is why you should believe that aliens don't exist because the government says they do. So they definitely do not.
Yeah, it just. Buckshot says it sounds like a mushroom trip. This would be the most fucked up mushroom trip,
dude. Like, I'm just picturing though, like, I'm gonna do a student film now, and I'm gonna film it all in high contrast black and white.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna involve clown strippers.
The 8mm, so you got the tick 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 going through the whole.
Yep. It's again interspersed with the time lapse of the rotting fox corpse.
There you go.
And then like randomly like crying children and like a picture of Bad Mustache Man, and then like I don't know a Volkswagen on fire.
I was just thinking that.
Like, just why? And like I'm not gonna explain none of it's, and like I'm just, and then like cut to like I don't know, cut to like just like rain on a road in the middle of nowhere, and then sad child eye shedding a single tear.
Yeah.
Feeding. And the whole time the background music is going to be like an out of tune violin, like a single out of tune violin. And I'm going to win so many awards at Sundance, it's going to blow your mind.
There's already people that enjoy The View that are lining up to buy that movie.
Yeah, it's, you know, and that's like, and I'll just wear like the goofiest shit when I go to award shows.
Yeah.
And like just random crap that I find at Goodwill that I'm going to throw together. And I will just put on like a shitty French accent. Well, I think that perhaps the people who do not understand that is a problem. And just
you just got to
never explain it.
It's a interpretation of the reflection of the current state of society.
On its surface, it may appear to be the commentary on the present state of affairs, but when you look at it, it is actually a critical deconstruction of the plight of the working man during the early industrial revolution.
It's about women empowerment.
Yeah. Just
Buckshot said the only color that in there is a mustard yellow beret.
Mustard yellow beret, yes, exactly. Possibly goldenrod. I don't know. It's the jury's still out there, but yes, yeah. And it's just, and it will be a mime standing in the middle of the street with a shotgun.
Yeah, and it doesn't say the N, it just says Finn.
Yeah, again, just Finn.
Finn.
And it'll be the the fancy script over the
Yeah.
black, just the white script. Fiend.
Finn. Yes.
And then it'll end.
Yes.
And everyone will be like, what was that? I don't. But when it's that weird, everyone's too scared in those circles
there's like,
to admit that they don't get it. So they'll
like
just go along with it.
There's like 7 women in the audience that are crying.
Standing round of applause, like guaranteed.
Yes.
It's awards all day. There will be feminist blue faux hawked college students who will do entire doctoral dissertations on it at UCLA.
The troglodyte lady's gonna do a remake.
Yeah, Trigglypuff will
Trigglypuff,
yeah. It's gonna be fantastic. Ooh, I should throw in like a scene of like a midget dressed as Abe Lincoln dumping pig blood on himself, like a bucket of pig blood.
You wouldn't be able to tell it's blood if it's black and white, though.
Well, yeah,
it could be oil. You could say it was oil.
Yeah, and just like dumping crude oil on himself. Like, just no context to any of it. It's just a random assortment of the most confusing images you've ever seen in your life, and just set together to this single person playing. Like, and I'll be like all super deep about it too. I'll be like, well, for the soundtrack, I found this homeless man in Berlin.
Yeah.
And I paid him $25 and a cheeseburger to play the violin.
And randomly throughout the movie, there's just a still frame of apocalyptic version of like the Toy Story or something.
Yes. Just no explanation, any of it.
Yeah.
Just
there you go.
It's there.
Yeah, it's just called The Clown. Oh, okay.
No, it'll be called Clown ?
Clown ? There you go.
Yeah.
Le Clown.
Le Clown.
Le Clown. All
right.
Speaking of clowns.
Actually, no, you know what I'll do is I'll call it asterisk. Like just the symbol, the asterisk.
Just asterisk, yeah.
That'll be its name. So it's just unpronounceable. It's just
the title.
Even
the title is just a red balloon.
It's a poop emoji. It's just, that's the title, poop emoji. And everyone's like, poop emoji. That's not how you say it. Well, how do you say it? It's
Yeah.
It's unpronounceable.
There you go. The beret. The only color can be the mustard yellow beret and the Legos.
And any yellow Legos, like it's just all filtered for yellow.
It's
all. Is that Carmine? No, Carmine's red, I think. I don't remember what that filter's called, but just it's all yellow.
Yeah. No. There's our $1 billion idea. Nobody steal it.
Nobody steal it. You heard it here first. It's coming. Coming in 2025. I just need everybody to go to the Kickstarter for it that I'm going to start and give me $150,000 to do it.
There you go. All right. Speaking of clowns. 75 Pittsburgh officers on leave after firing their weapon during hours-long standoff at eviction attempt. Did you read about this one?
I did. That dude went down fucking swinging.
Oh, he went down on his shield for sure. And he claimed to be a sovereign citizen as part of the More movement. Put his money where his mouth is. At least 75 local law enforcement officers are being placed on leave in Pittsburgh after firing their weapons in an hour-long standoff with a man who shot at sheriff's deputies when they went to serve an eviction notice. Deputies had gone to serve the notice in the city's Garfield neighborhood when the man, quote, turned violent and began shooting. The suspect, William Hardison Sr., was found dead inside the residence after gunfire was exchanged intermittently for roughly 6.5 hours.
That's a hell of a standoff, 6.5 hours.
Yes.
That's a long time to try and stay alert.
Yes. Mike Manco, a spokesman for the sheriff's office, confirmed in an email that 16 deputies, so the sheriff's office, 16 deputies were placed on administrative leave after the incident. They all fired their weapons. Quote, we were aware of the actors' disdain for government, and we went to serve the eviction notice, which is why we had extra deputies on the detail. He said the sheriff had reached out to the deputies personally, quote, and they will go through a psych eval next week after being cleared to come back to work. A dozen more Allegheny County police officers were also placed on administrative leave. All 12 of the officers fired their weapons, a department spokesman confirmed, and the leave is standard protocol for the department. 47 Pittsburgh police officers were fired. 47 Pittsburgh police officers who fired their weapons were also on leave, the department said, as part of its policy. The leave may vary from 3 to 5 days. So that's 47 Pittsburgh police officers, a dozen Allegheny County police officers, and 16 deputies from the other county, whichever they were.
That's a lot of manpower for one dude who doesn't want to come out of his house.
Yes. Allegheny said he could not count the number of gunfire volleys between the suspect and the officers. Quote, I mean, he had a lot of ammunition in that house, and certainly all of us were strapped, with ammunition, and we called for additional ammunition. Like I said, we tried to give him every opportunity to come out.
Those do seem like counterpoints. We needed additional ammo. We gave him every opportunity to come. So, like, you were shooting at him. That's not really giving him an opportunity to come out. I'm just gonna point out that's kind of the opposite of that. Just saying.
It's unclear how many bullets were fired, as numerous local and federal agencies responded to the scene. So, again, 75 officers, at least 75 officers, fired their firearms at this guy in continuous volleys. Like, I guess every time that the guy would shoot, they would return fire. We'll give him the credit for that one. The guy would shoot, police would shoot back. 75 officers fired their guns to the point where they had to call for more ammunition.
Mighty good gunfight.
Yes. The incident started out as an eviction, yes, but it quickly turned into an attempted homicide of law enforcement officers within seconds of them going through the door. Generally speaking, an attempted homicide of law enforcement officers when the suspect is firing hundreds of rounds into a densely populated neighborhood will elicit a large enforcement response. So that's a lot. That's a lot. Dave's in the chat. He says he's back in the corrections field of work. First guy I was training on booking in noted he weighed maybe 150 pounds. The previous booking said 300. It turns out they had arrested the wrong guy. Same first name and last name with a warrant. That happened. There was a similar incident to that in Florida where a guy was arrested for a warrant out of a different state. And there's like 4 people in Florida with like the exact same name. And they all sued because they were arrested for this guy for being arrested for just because they had the same name.
Yeah, it seems about right.
Yeah.
Why bother to double check anything? That'd just be a basic.
Yeah, I'm just surprised, given Pennsylvania's history with eviction shootouts like this, I'm surprised they didn't drop a bomb.
Yeah, like the move
bombing.
Yeah. I mean, Pennsylvania has a distinct history of just killing people who don't immediately respect their authority, which is awfully ironic considering it's also where, like the Declaration of Independence was signed. Where the Constitution was drafted. Like, yeah, it's ironic that it's like one of those states that has basically zero freedom, zero respect for the individual. Mm-hmm. You will respect my authority. But I mean, like, this dude was being evicted. Like, that's from his home. And
yeah,
he was not going quietly.
That's the catch right there is the sovereign citizen. He was older too. Part of the Moore movement. No, but he did not want to go.
I mean, he put his money where his mouth was, right? Like he
I get a big respect for that, right? Stood up for himself, went out on his shield, literally.
Yeah, he
Went out on his shield.
said he would rather die than obey, and he died rather than obey.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fault him for that. I can fault him for a lot of other things, but
not for that.
Not for that part. I mean, I would not have, probably. But do we know, was this like an eviction like he was renting, or was this like a tax-based eviction? Because like that was the thing that I couldn't find. Because like if it's a tax-based eviction, hey, hell yeah, brother. But if it's like you just weren't paying the person that you agreed to pay in order to live there, like, dude, what the hell?
Let's see. I will look up the guy's name and we will find out.
I was wondering if it's a tax-based eviction or not, because it might be. And if it is a tax-based eviction, well, taxation is theft.
Let's see. He had 15 guns in the house.
Oh, the arsenal.
Yes. He said it was his land.
Okay, so it was probably a tax eviction, property tax eviction. So yeah, more power to you, brother.
Court records show that he had been cited more than 30 times in the past 15 years for not having a license or registration. Let's see.
Remember, a license is when the government takes away your right to do something that you have a right to do and then sells it back to you.
Let's see. Court records show the house was owned by Hardison's brother Joseph, who died in March 2021. It was deeded to their father, William Hardison Jr., who neglected to make mortgage payments. The house was foreclosed upon and sold in March to a limited liability corporation.
Well, yeah. You probably should have just left.
Let's see. Harrison. Let's see. William Harrison Jr. was evicted from an apartment last year. Attorney squatted in the house. So let's see. Yeah, sounds like a mortgage.
Nah, he really should have just left. But I mean,
he's been evicted from other places before without issue. So,
well, I think that what this is my family land, and how dare you take it? Well, unfortunately for you, your father agreed to pay someone money for the land.
His
son
didn't.
His son did, but his father took it over.
Yes,
and then failed to do anything about paying it or anything else. And man, just leave. All right, like you've given up your right to it at that point. You're not paying for it.
Let's see. Harrison had believed he owned the house at the center of the eviction order. It had previously belonged to his brother, who died recently, and had been sold to a private firm.
I mean, I get it, but dude, really?
Mm-hmm. If he believes he owns the house, he believes he owns the house.
Yeah. I mean, he's wrong, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, he's a sovereign citizen, doesn't care about the legality of it. No.
Like, if it had been a tax eviction, right? Like, he hadn't been paying on taxes, that'd be a entirely different conversation. But, like, this home was never truly owned even by his brother.
Yes.
His brother borrowed money in order to buy it, with it securing the debt, and then failed to pay on it. And then his dad failed to pay on it, and he failed to pay on it. And since no one was paying for it, it gets foreclosed on, because this may shock you, but you need to pay back loans that you take out.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, the son says that his father believed he owned the house. So
that's why he went down swing. As far as he was concerned, it was his. He was actually a squatter, but as far as he was concerned, it was his. Yep. Ironically, if he had been in New York, New Jersey, California, Oregon, Washington, things would have gone differently.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Did I just?
That's a hell of a long standoff, though, for one guy in a house.
Yes.
Hell of a long standoff. My God.
Oh. All right. Yeah. Where do you want to go? We got 2 left. No. Do we have 2 left? I thought we had 3 left. Did I just accidentally delete one of my tabs?
We have 2 left. 3 left. We do have 3 left because we haven't talked about pirates yet.
Ah, pirates. That's the tab that I
We should have gone there after the butts.
the butt pirates.
Our new car, the Asperate.
Yes. You want to jump into that one?
Yeah, let's talk about. I love talking about pirates. All good
Yes.
stories. Talk about pirates.
Yes.
Oh, pirates. Pirates. Let's talk about pirates. Da, 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 da. This is super bizarre. I love this article. Add pirates to Oakland's list of crime problems. What year is it?
Yes.
What? And yeah, this is goddamn pop-ups. What the? This is insane. So, boat owners at Jack London Square told the San Francisco Chronicle that thieves are arriving in small watercraft and using bolt cutters to break into boats. They have stolen engines, tools, and life rafts. Several sailboats also have been stolen. That's right, the pirates are stealing sailboats. Because it's green energy.
They're using landing vessels.
Boat owners blame nearby homeless encampments. In March, the Oakland City Council passed an ordinance that allows police to seize boats anchored illegally at city harbors. Is that the end of the? That's the end of the article. That's it.
Really? That's it?
That's it. That's the article that you had linked. Hold on, we have a better one.
San Francisco Chronicle one.
Yeah, Jonathan DeLong was sleeping in a berth of his sailboat at the shore of Oakland's Jack London Square when he heard a thump. Startled awake, he knew trouble was right outside. A woman stood on the dock in the inky darkness while a man glided toward DeLong's sailboat in a dinghy. You son of a... It won't let me read the rest of it, I don't think. Yeah, it won't let me read it. It gave me to that point. Okay, well, so... Pirates. Oakland. That sucks. That sucks that it's so short. I'm sad about that.
Because you don't know how to get around the paywalls.
That's true. That's true.
Uh-huh.
I don't crave this particular bit of information enough to put the effort into getting around the paywall. As soon as they come up, I'm like, never mind.
Yep. But I'll throw that in the chat for you.
If we can actually get a freaking article here.
Yeah. I just sent it to you.
There we go. Glided toward DeLong's sailboat in a dinghy, both seemingly intent on boarding. To DeLong, the scene was familiar.
Okay, hold on. We have to address this. Jordan says, East Bay represent. We stole everything that might be a catalytic converter around here. I am also in the East Bay, and that is absolutely fucking accurate.
Is this a cat? I don't know what a catalytic converter looks like. This might be a catalytic converter.
It is. They went into my dad's neighbor's garage and stole like 15 bags of aluminum cans that he was getting ready to recycle. That's what they stole. They stole recyclables.
I imagine if they had asked, he would have just been like,
absolutely. I give my recyclables to the homeless guy that comes around.
Yeah, no just like here, man.
Right?
But dude, that would, you know how much trouble that would save me if you just like came and took my cans for me? Like, where do you keep your catalytic converter?
No joke. My cousin got barbed wire and wrapped barbed wire around the frame under the vehicle to make it difficult for them to get to his catalytic converter.
There are things that you can get. There's also a cable system that locks around either side of the catalytic converter, that's steel cables that have just a little bit of play in them, so they're not easy to cut through. There are a number of things that you can get. Personally, because I'm not in California, my solution to worrying about catalytic converters being stolen is to cut them out myself.
Yes.
So you can get under the car to go get a catalytic converter, but you're just going to find a straight pipe, bud.
There are rumors. There are rumors. I haven't seen it. I haven't read any articles about it, but there are people on the local pages showing people how to use the 12 gauge tripwire traps.
I've seen some of those get used, and my response is yes. I realize that it's unsupported, which is why it's legal, because it can only support the blank, but it doesn't take a lot to make a little bit of pipe.
Yes.
Not that I'm saying you should do that.
Yes.
Obviously, for legal reasons.
Yes.
But
if you take some redacted and add in a little redacted and use a string, it creates a redacted.
Yes. Surprise! It's like when I watch those. Have you seen those anti-bicycle theft things where they have the seat that slides down so that it rams them with the pipe?
I love those videos so much.
The pipe right up the pooper as they go to ride. So I pointed out the other day to Lindsay, I was like, I'm not saying anything specific, but I am going to point out that if you have a pipe that slides over another pipe like that, that's 3/4 of the way to a slide fire shotgun.
Yes. Yes.
And I find that to be absolutely hilarious. Like, I would laugh at that video.
Yes.
I stole a pipe. Boom.
Yeah, they're booby trapping businesses around here now too, because people keep breaking into them. So now business owners are setting up booby traps.
Yep. I mean, it's the. Like, what kind of a world? Like, I should not have to put a cage around the catalytic converter on my car. A buddy of mine, he had his cut off, and he laughed hysterically. Is this a catalytic converter?
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. Yes.
No, a buddy of mine, he obviously around here we don't have emissions testing. So he cut the seams, the weld seams and everything on his catalytic converter, pulled everything out and turned it into it's a straight pipe, right? Because it increases performance.
Yep.
And so he did that. He had somebody steal the empty case.
I believe it. Yep.
And he was just like, that's just irritating. Yes. Like, you just inconvenienced me. Why? Why did you need to do? You could have flicked it and heard that it was hollow, you morons.
All right, back to the article.
Okay, so anyway, to DeLong, the scene was familiar. Countless times he'd seen people prowl the bay on small watercraft using bolt cutters, angle grinders to burglarize boats, to pry open the fiberglass dock boxes where estuary residents keep their supplies. When he sternly confronted and shooed away the pair of trespassers on a July summer night, DeLong said he was already frustrated and weary from the constant break-ins. The latest illustration of a property crime surge that's gripped Oakland and spilled onto the waterfront. As Oakland's police grapple with rising burglaries, robberies, and carjackings on land, residents on the water say they're getting little help and are left on their own to chase out intruders. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure there are still anti-piracy laws that allow you to kill pirates in the United States. Some have discussed arming themselves. Others have ventured out to reclaim their stolen property. Several bemoaned the lack of law enforcement response, saying it's allowed crime to spiral and encourage vigilantism. So become a vigilante. In recent months, a malaise has settled over the kitschy houseboats and lagoons as boaters who sought an island lifestyle are suddenly finding themselves terrified. Well, that's what you get for wanting to be an island boy. Reviewing calls for service from Alameda's 13 marinas, Police Chief Nishant Joshi found a slight decrease in calls for service from August 23rd, 2022 to the same date this year. He also noted that this year, fewer of those calls generated a police report and that the marinas account for less than 1% of the city's total calls. Still, Josh acknowledged the importance of perception. Well, it's because they're just not calling you anymore because there's no point.
Yes.
But without police, who would show up 35 minutes late to a crime to write down a bunch of your information on a piece of paper and then do absolutely nothing about any of it?
Yes.
Like, it's
we're
clearly doing nothing.
Yeah, let's skip forward. We'll skip forward. Steve McFessel, a managing investor at a Marina Village Yacht Harbor in Alameda, he says, quote, "It's almost the Wild West. It's almost as if you're on a ship and there are pirates out there and there's no government and no one to protect you. We've gotten to the point where we know there is going to be no response from police." Noting that some neighbors have watched helplessly as intruders broke their locks, swiped their possessions. Some wake up to find their vessels and storage units pillaged. Marina residents believe the, quote, pirates live in the half dozen encampments scattered along the estuary or on anchor-out vessels that are illegally moored in the water. We covered those before.
Yeah.
The anchor-out vessels. Though there are no hard evidence that homeless people are the perpetrators. Albino surmised that one or two of the roughly 2 dozen people who live in the unpermitted aquatic dwellings are committing crimes. Nonetheless, reports have surfaced in recent weeks that thieves raiding yacht clubs, sailing centers, and marinas throughout the estuary, pilfering boats and stripping out the motors or painting the holes silver to disguise them. Last week, thieves struck the outboard motor shop, a repair facility under the Park Street Bridge. Under cover of night, owner Craig Jacobson said they loaded stolen life rafts, tool bags, and other goods into a 15-foot section of dock before towing the whole structure to an encampment at Oakland's Union Point Park.
I mean, that's impressive. Like, regardless of it, like that's an operation, man.
That's
like,
impressive. Yes.
Wow. You guys are pretty much Somalis at this point.
Yeah, quote, "They took it over to their little flotilla," Jacob said in an interview, referencing to a stash of anchor outs and allegedly stolen boats run along Union Point, where industrial buildings line rocky beaches strewn with trash. Yes. When Jacobson called 911 to report the stolen dock,
Stolen dock.
Stolen dock.
This is the point that crime in California has reached, okay? Stolen
dock. To report the stolen dock, he said police initially told him that all the officers were tied up addressing violent crime. Reluctantly, the staff of Outboard Motor went to the Union Point Park to confront the alleged perpetrators themselves, where Jacobson called 911 again. He said 4 officers showed up, arresting 1 man for possession of stolen property.
And that was the fall guy. The rest of them will continue to operate.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just going to point out, right, that like if they want to behave like 17th century pirates, if you have a deck gun, like a swivel gun, and a cutlass.
If you don't have a yardarm, do you really even have a boat?
I mean, that's why I was holding up the just
tally ho,
ahoy, retard. Boom. It's only going to take one shot, and the rest of them are going to scatter. I'm just saying. You don't even need to actually load anything into it. You point that thing at somebody.
So we got
set that off.
We got suggestions of grape shot and a punt gun in the comments.
Punt guns are awful long though. I would say swivel gun. Remember, kids, that if it was already in production
previous to 1899,
yes, in 1898 or earlier, it doesn't count as a firearm.
Yes.
So if you get yourself a pair of like Blackbeard's Revenge musket loading pistols, well, actually you need at least
blunderbusses. Blunderbusses are surprisingly easy to make.
Yeah, and so you get a nice brace of pistols, right? A cutlass and a swivel gun. Mount that on your ship and fly the black flag. I guarantee you're not going to get raided in Oakland's harbor.
Till the ACL comes out and says that's racist.
To which you just come into court and you're like, "Yar, ye be trying to disparage me culture."
I self-identify.
Yeah, I am trans pirate,
Transpirate. Yeah, there you go.
transpirate, if you will.
I self-identify as a deckhand.
I self-identify as a salty dog. All right, so
you got
I've no
a seagull instead of a parrot. There you go.
I've no time for you landlubbers and your laws.
Yeah, Dave says I'm a cuddle-ass.
Exactly. Like, I'm just saying, like, somebody boards your boat in the middle of the night to try and steal shit from you, and you bust out a cutlass.
Yes,
they're going to reconsider their actions.
And hey, if global warming is as bad as they say it is, Oakland, by the time global warming fully takes place, will likely be in international water.
So there you go. See,
there you go. Just international water law, piracy applies.
Yeah, the whole thing is basically it. Yeah, you have to be willing to meet force with force.
Yes,
and more dramatic, rapid, and overwhelmingly disproportionate force. That is how you win a confrontation.
My pronoun is Captain.
Captain.
Captain. There you
go. Yar.
Yes. Captain Joe Trevette. That actually sounds
it actually
pretty
works.
righteous.
Yeah. The problem is you need to find a chick like Anne Bonny to be by your side there.
Yes.
And Miss who famously told Calico Jack, if you'd fought like a man, you'd not be dying like a dog.
Yeah. Speaking of Anne Bonny, you remember the photo of the girl leaning out the side of the car with the AK? They are using that photo as evidence against her boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. She didn't snitch him out by any means, but they're using that photo as evidence against him.
That's why if your girl's going to hang out of the side of your car holding a crank, you need to make sure that she has her face covered.
Yeah.
And that your license plate is not visible.
Well, okay, here's the thing. So that photo, and that video technically went viral. And people that knew the girl and the guy were tagging them in the photos.
Oh, don't do that.
Yes. Yes.
Jordan says he's Puro Norte. Hey, if he's Norte, like she definitely is going to snitch him out. Number one, because she's going to know better.
Yep. No. But yeah, they're using that video, that photo as evidence against him, which is too bad because that is an absolute Anne Bonny level.
Yeah,
level chick.
That's because it was Anne Bonny and.
But if he goes to jail, she's single. So hit me up.
Somehow. I like it. R.A.B. liking the cut of your jib.
Ask. You ever drive a dinghy at 3:00 in the morning?
Do you know? Like, I would roll into that. Like, somebody steals my fucking dock. Okay, if somebody has stolen my
dock, bro. Like not just boat parts or
whatever isn't tied down. Motherfucker, that was tied down.
They stole a dock. They floated the dock.
If somebody steals my dock, I'm just saying I am grabbing a sailboat and I'm grabbing a bunch of salty dogs. We are blasting the Pirates of the Caribbean theme as we roll into that homeless camp on the edge of the estuary.
See, they did change the song from the shores of Tripoli to the shores of the Mission District.
Are you kidding? Even the Marines are afraid to go in there. Let's be honest. Like, that's
for people that don't know the Marine Corps hymn, right? To the shores of Tripoli. Tripoli is where the pirates were off the coast of Africa.
That the Marines had nothing to do with stopping. It was private individuals with letters of marque.
Yes.
Where do you even pawn a dock? I mean,
How many shopping carts does it take to move a dock down the street to the pawn shop?
Just moving it.
How many
Case?
fentanyl pills is a dock worth?
Yes. Hey guys, what do you got there, Doc? What are you doing with it? We're gonna sell it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine though, like if they'd managed to sell it and somebody else installed it, like proving that that's the other guy's dock? No, it's been here. Like it's
Yeah,
no,
it's
I'm
been
pretty
here.
sure it has. No, it's been here. I don't know what you're talking. Who would steal a dock and then sell it? That's ridiculous.
That's to the point where we are as a society. Although technically, you could make the argument that that area is a different society than what we live in. Different culture, different society, the whole thing. But yeah, they stole the dock. Pirates stole the dock.
That's even fucking Teach and Calico Jack, and they would have been hesitant to steal an entire fucking dock from somebody.
Stealing boats, right? Stealing motors, batteries, stealing gas, definitely. Whatever the supplies you can get.
The question is,
they stole the dock.
Are they drinking grog as they do it? Because if not,
no,
they are missing out on a distinct opportunity here.
Yeah.
It needs to be grog.
Yeah. Victims of the waterfront capers share their stories in letters to the San Francisco Bay Conservation and Development Commission, the state body formed to protect the bay and the surrounding waterfront areas. They are doing a shitty job. Among the letter writers was Michael Grolman, co-director of the junior sailing program at NCL NCL Yacht Club in Alameda. He recalled an incident at 3 a.m. on June 13th in which thieves cruising around the harbor on a sailboat stole two of the club's $20,000 coach rescue boats and towed them to Union Point.
That's bold.
Employees of the yacht club combed the estuary and found the boats later that morning. By the time Gorman arrived at 8:30, he said the perpetrators had removed the motors from one vessel and, quote, knifed so many holes in the body that it sank.
That seems like an inefficient way to sink a boat.
Someone was asleep in the other boat, which the encampment dwellers, quote, willingly returned when the owner asked for it, according to the letter. Yeah.
Wait, they kidnapped a guy too?
I don't know.
They're definitely pirates.
Yes, but they sank the boat rather than give it back. Was that? What's that term?
Scuttle.
They scuttled the boat rather than let it be returned.
They keep stealing these motors, and I have to ask, what are they doing with them? Knife killed the boat. That's even in Battlefield, you can't pull that off.
Knife killed a boat.
What are they doing with these motors?
Because
it's not like they're lightweight or anything, right?
No,
these are big, heavy, like cast iron.
But on the flip side of that is that they're not getting maintenance done, right? They're not taking them into shop. They're not doing regular maintenance. So when it dies, right, we just kick it off the back of the boat and go steal a new one. Right?
Got a vehicle kill with my knife to unlock the bipod. The bipod for the combat knife. Hey, man. The question is, did you get the laser scope?
Jack just dropped a link. In Ohio, police baffled over the theft of an entire 58-foot bridge in Ohio. I think we covered this one.
I think we did talk about that. That bridge
that was installed near a creek. Yeah. We talked.
And we were like, they stole a bridge.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. Stolen bridge. This time they stole the dock.
I mean, these guys are getting like, this is fucking Despicable Me Gru level shit. Okay, like. We are going to steal the bridge. Like,
yes. How can we inconvenience them the most?
We are going to take the bridge and we are going to turn it 28 degrees and leave it there.
They were mounting the motors on the stolen dock to build the first ghetto supercarrier.
Supercarrier? Can you imagine all these like stolen drones taking off from the deck of the fucking...
Yeah.
Man, this reboot of Tom Sawyer is fucked up.
Oh God. Oh, there is so many fucking Huck Finns on that boat. Oh my goodness. But why is all the rum gone?
Well, why is all the rum gone? I actually have two kinds of rum right now. I highly do not recommend the one.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly, like, so it's Plantation Isle of Fiji, and I gotta tell you, don't drink it. Don't drink it, because you know what it tastes like? It tastes like shower curtain. Brand new, fresh out of the package shower curtain.
Is it worse than Kraken?
Oh, I actually enjoy Kraken. Like, Kraken's not bad.
Yeah, if you drink Kraken rum, you're the kind of person that would steal a dog.
I mean, I might.
Yeah,
depends.
If you enjoy Kraken, that's one of my litmus tests.
Well, generally I use Kraken for other things. But anyway, yes. I use it in recipes. But this thing, like, I was told, like, hey, it goes really great with cigars at that cigar event. And I'm like, okay, so I bought a bottle of it, right? It tastes like you have distilled fresh out of the package shower curtain.
Why do you know what a shower curtain tastes like?
No, you know that smell? Like fresh PVC,
industrial plastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is what it freaking tastes like.
Gross.
It's so gross. Yes. Why is that $40?
Yes, I don't know. Okay, so you wouldn't steal a dock? Yes.
You wouldn't download a dock.
No, you wouldn't download a dock, would you?
Motherfucker, I might.
Okay, but would you bet on backyard volleyball?
I mean, I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I might.
A sprawling backyard volleyball gambling ring that made hundreds of thousands of dollars in illegal bucks was busted at a home in Massachusetts on Friday.
Oh, sure. We're going to bust all the people who are just trying to make a buck on some backyard volleyball.
Organizers set up the operation less than a block away from the Milford Police Headquarters. With two full-size paved courts, picnic tables, and a concession stand with fried food and booze. Quote, I felt like I was at Foxwoods. That's Chief Robbie Tassino. Quote, I was amazed it was going on to that level, and there was so much money changing hands. Roughly 100 gamblers nightly bet on 6-on-6 amateur regional volleyball matches, which organizers promoted aggressively on social media. The gamblers placed bets on who would win and the number of points scored while playing card games such as poker on the side. On Saturday, investigators seized $10,000 in cash and arrested 2 suspects after neighbors complained about too much traffic.
Come on, guys. Who's being hurt by that?
Yeah. Investigators arrested 2 suspects with the help of a confidential informant after neighbors complained about too much traffic. Quote, there's about 100 people there every night. There's a lot of people there. It's illegal. You can't do it here. They got a place for it, not in the back of your house. In total, organizers raked in nearly $150,000 a weekend, according to Sino, who said that the backyard sports betting had likely been going on for roughly a year.
Wait, you can make $150,000 on setting up a backyard volleyball league?
If only, imagine how much you could make if it was on a floating dock. Quote, there were 2 paved professional-sized courts that kept good books. They were professionals. I believe it started as a wholesome thing, and then, like all criminal enterprises, it turned into a money-making event that became its own entity.
So is there anybody perhaps in Wisconsin who might be interested in organizing a backyard volleyball league? Not for any particular reason.
Zola Castro was arrested and charged with selling liquor without a license. The unidentified owner of the home was also arrested on Saturday. Yes.
Why is the state got to interfere in that? Honestly, like
Police,
who's being hurt by that?
Police who monitored the home for 2 months before raiding the ring said they're now playing hardball. Quote, it's really just got to stop. We just want it to stop. There's better ways to make money.
But there's not. Come on, name a more fun way to make money than to set up a your own professional sports league and make money on the sports. But like, what? That seems like a pretty cool way to make money to me.
$150,000 in a single weekend.
In a weekend, dude.
Yeah, and that had been going on for nearly a year.
How many? That's what? How many weekends in a year? There's 52 weeks.
52 weeks.
Even if we figure just 52 weeks.
Say 40 weeks. 40 weeks.
Okay,
at
so
150,000 is like $6 million.
Yeah, that's $6 million. $6 million.
Yes.
A year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. As you know, as was mentioned in the chat, where's my cut? The state. Exactly. That's the only reason that they interfered with it, is because the state wanted their cut.
Yep.
It had nothing to do with there was anybody actually being hurt or any actual major problems. It's that the state wasn't getting their cut of it.
Yep. So, all right, we got this last article.
David, sounds like the police listed their bets and lost their bets and didn't want to pay. Okay. That's probably what happened. Mm-hmm. Is that they were in debt like a bunch of money and were like, or I could just arrest them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, honey. I lost the car. I had to pay off my volleyball betting debt.
And it's not even beach volleyball with like jiggly chicks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, and imagine how much more you could make. You just get a bunch of busty women together in the bikinis and playing in
some of those clown strippers
versus midget strippers. I actually no, it's a really one-sided volleyball game. Now that I think about it, but it's
clown strippers versus unionized strippers.
Yeah, it's but I mean, like you could. It's
Lego aficionados versus non-Lego aficionados.
Yeah, this is like literally like just like a bunch of people playing volleyball and people are betting on it and you're making that cut. If you had a bunch of hot chicks playing volleyball in bikinis against each other and you had people bet, think of how much more money you could bring in. And now I have a business plan that I'm going to be writing up.
Yes. But where are we going to get a dock?
Why do I need it? Well, I suppose you got to get the whales, right? You got to get the big money to be able to dock outside of the. Yep. Yeah. That's.
Yep. I know a place you can steal one.
No one will stop me.
Yes. So, all right, the last article, and this is I hurt myself laughing at this. I was laughing at this and laughing at this and laughing at this, and to the point where like I hurt, like my back hurt from laughing at this. All right, you ready? Buyers of Bored Ape NFTs sue after digital apes turn out to be a bad investment.
No shit. What? You mean spending millions of dollars on this stupid little fucking graphic of a monkey that but only you have rights to? We promise. You mean that turned out not to be a good idea?
Yes. Buyers of Bored Ape NFTs sue after digital apes turn out to be bad investment.
Whoever would have guessed? It seemed so sound. It was such a perfect, like the perspective on monkey drawings showed such an upward trend. Wait, do you mean it's a bad idea to spend millions of dollars on a thing that can be circumvented so easily by right-click, save as?
Yes, loss. Okay, hold on. The sub headline: Sotheby's Sotheby's $24 million sale of FTX gave Bored Ape NFTs quote an air of legitimacy.
That turned out to work out so historically well.
Sotheby's auction house has been named as a defendant in the lawsuit filed by investors who regret buying Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs that sold for highly inflated prices during the NFT craze of 2021. A Sotheby's auction duped investors by giving the Bored Ape NFTs, quote, an air of legitimacy to generate investors' interest and hype around the Bored Ape brand. The class
They're salespeople trying to make fucking money. Yeah, they made it seem like a thing you should buy. That's their job.
The boost to Bored Ape NFT prices provided by the auction, quote, was rooted in deception.
What? Are you suggesting that the whole NFT thing may not have been on the up and up? I am shocked.
The boost to Bored Ape NFT prices provided by the auction, quote, was rooted in deception, said the lawsuit filed in U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. It wasn't revealed at the time of the auction that the buyer was the now disgraced FTX.
Yeah, except that most auctions are done anonymously.
Yes. Sotheby's representations that an undisclosed buyer was a, quote, traditional collector had misleadingly created the impression that the market for BAYC NFTs had crossed over to a mainstream audience, the lawsuit claimed. Lawsuit plaintiffs said that harmed investors brought the NFTs, quote, with a reasonable expectation of profit from owning them.
No, you're retarded. It was so transparently stupid. A traditional collector of NFTs. So also a moron laundering money through fucking digital pictures. Like
somehow, okay, so follow me on this. Somehow, someone paying $24 million for digital pictures on the internet that are publicly seen gave legitimacy to digital pictures on the internet that other people can screenshot or click save and or download.
This whole NFT thing is like one of the greatest things I have ever witnessed. Like, you know, that whole fool and his money are soon parted. Well, a really, really rich, really, really extreme fool and a very large amount of money are soon parted. Okay. And
yes. Okay, Sotheby's sold a lot of 101 Bored Ape NFTs for $24.4 million at its Ape N auction in September 2021, well above the pre-auction estimates of $12 to $18 million. That's an average price of over $241,000. But Bored Ape NFTs now sell for a floor price of about $50,000 worth of Ether cryptocurrency, according to CoinGecko data accessed today.
Hey, Jason, what did we say about NFTs when that whole craze happened? I think we called it a word.
We had a really good laugh at it.
I think we called it money laundering. I believe the words used were blatant and obvious money laundering.
Yes. Investors previously sued Bored Ape creator Yuga Labs, 4 company executives, and various celebrity promoters, including Paris Hilton, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin Hart, Snoop Dogg, Serena Williams, Madonna, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Curry, and Justin Bieber. The original class action lawsuit was filed.
I'm flabbergasted that they weren't worth more money with such reliable and noted financial minds behind their promotion.
Yes. Hold on, right? Yuga, that's Yuga Labs, describes its collection of 10,000 Bored Bored Ape NFTs as, quote, unique digital collectibles living on the Ethereum blockchain that double as a, quote, yacht club membership card.
I.e., it represents that you have so much money that you can frivolously spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a pile of shit, literal pile of shit called art, and then be like, look at me, I'm so rich.
Yes, the website has some, quote, members only areas. When you buy a Bored Ape, you're not simply buying an avatar or a rare piece of art. You're gaining membership access to a club whose benefits and offerings will increase over time. Your Bored Ape can serve as your digital identity and open digital doors for you.
What? What digital doors is that? Oh my God. This is just. Oh.
Yes. The amended lawsuit alleges that Yuga collided with fine arts broker Definite Sotheby's to run a deceptive auction. After the sales, a Sotheby's representative described the winning bidder during a Twitter Space event as a, quote, traditional collector. So it just goes on and on and on about that. But
basically, a bunch of idiots spent a huge amount of money on something that was very obviously a very terrible idea, and now they're pissed that they didn't bother to think critically because they're idiots and have the IQs of warm mayonnaise.
Yes. Yes, Dave, a pile of literal shit at least has a physical value. Yes, absolutely. And it has value beyond just the physical self. But a Bored Ape is literally just a digital picture online. And technically on the Ethereum blockchain, you are the only one that can have that particular piece of digital art on the Ethereum blockchain. But who's on the Ethereum blockchain?
Nobody. But the people who own the Bored Ape NFTs.
But they got access to secret areas of the website.
I can get access to secret areas of a lot of websites. It's called hacking, motherfuckers.
Yeah. People that bought Bored Ape NFTs deserve to have their dock stolen.
Yes, they do. If you bought a Bored Ape NFT and your docket or super yacht is stolen, you deserve that.
At 100%. There you go, Buckshot, right there. These are the same people who say physical gold and silver are a bad investment. Yes. You can't eat gold. Yeah.
You might as well have literally like taken piles of money and set fire to them. At least that you could have called itself art.
But on the flip side, the people that could afford these Bored Ape NFTs are the kind of people that can afford good sex toys that don't get stuck in the rectum. It's
true. That is true. However, they are also the people that I hope get things stuck in their rectum.
They should have spent that money on Buzz Lightyear dolls.
Those, hey man, the original ones from back when Toy Story first came out, probably worth some money.
Yeah.
I once sold a toy for $850.
Yes.
Like an actual toy for $850.
I'll believe it.
So,
no. All right, you want to throw some links and let's get out of here.
Oh, check out thebeardstruggle.com, Reaper brand apparel, spookware. Well, so you got David Poppins patches. We got all of the links are in our link tree. Make sure that you check them out. You support us and you support the people who support us because those are the people who I'm not going to say that they make it this possible because technically none of us really makes any much money.
They are the people that give us a good way to sum up the show and to end the show and let us to get out of here.
They are, and you know they provide me with fabulous beard products, fabulous patches, fabulous apparel, all sorts of cool stuff that I want, and they give me that stuff, and they will only give me that stuff if you guys keep supporting us through them. So please keep giving me stuff.
Yes. On that note, you got anything else?
I don't know how we sum up this episode. Like, I'm so sorry, Mom and Dad.
I'm
so sorry.
Support your local clown stripper and don't steal dogs. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, peace.